only one of the most beautiful places in America, but also a mecca for rock climbers the world over. The sheer rock cliffs that surround the valley present challenges only the best climbers dare consider. El Capitan, a granite monolith 3,000 feet high. Half Dome, a single piece of granite 2,200 feet high. And the Rostrum, the greatest challenge in the valley. Until recently, the top portion, the roof and head wall, were believed unclimbable. Today, a young American climber will attempt to free climb the Rostrum without relying on ropes. His name, Ron Kauk.
The Rostrum is going to be really intense. The roof is about a 15-foot overhang, 1,000 feet up. It's going to involve a lot of concentration to kind of forget about where you are with the exposure and just concentrate on every move.
Rick Ridgeway, a veteran of Mount Everest, will belay Ron. The self-imposed rules of a free climb allow the use of ropes for safety only. They cannot be used in any way to assist the climber. Bob Carmichael, an expert climber and cameraman, will photograph the ascent for real people. Unlike Ron, Bob will use ropes every inch of the way.
Some people might consider climbing to be a daredevil type of sport. And that's not really true after you've gained your experience and confidence. The fear factor is usually shut off. Like as soon as you start getting involved in your lead when you're on the rock, you're just so closed in and your concentration is so tight on the rock right in front of you that the fear is totally gone, I think, until maybe you fall.
Ron trains in a practice area called Camp 4. The smaller boulders here present all the technical challenges of the high sheer rocks he'll face later.
Okay, I got you on spot.
A lot of people may think that climbers may have kind of a death wish, the fact that you are riding the edge with life and death, but I personally don't have a death wish.
All right!
Relentless training is the key. Ron can breeze through 50 pull-ups, followed by as many dips on the parallel bars, followed by 100 more pull-ups hanging by his fingertips from a half-inch edge. He sharpens his agility and balance on a slack chain. Rounding out the routine with a rope climb, hands only.
If I had a death wish, how come I work so hard at staying alive?
The day before Ron's climb is a rest day, a leisurely walk and a family outing. At 23, Ron is already the father of a 2.5-year-old boy named Yodi. Yodi's mother, Lucy, is a direct descendant of the Miwok Paiute Indians, the original inhabitants of the Yosemite Valley.
Well, I think having a son, that kind of gives you a neat realization of how valuable your life is. It makes me more conscious when I'm hanging way out on the rocks that I do have quite a bit more to lose.
The climb will begin from a point just under the head wall where the rostrum roof juts out. Ron discusses last-minute strategy with Ridgeway before giving up the security of ropes and slings.
God, it looks desperate.
He discovers a possible handhold to the right.
Lock there?
Yeah, looks like an okay finger lock.
From this point, Ron will use no ropes or other devices either to ascend or support himself. Nevertheless, he will not advance more than a few feet without clipping in for safety's sake.
You know, when you get out there a little ways, I'm going to have to unclip.
Ron's object is not to risk his life, but to advance the art of climbing.
Let me know when you're going to cut loose.
Ridgeway allows slack on the red rope while holding fast to the other.
Okay, I'm clipped in now. I'm going to move on a little bit.
He discovers a better route to the left.
Okay, keep the tension.
Rather than go back, he moves across, hand over hand.
Get a finger lock on that
I
lip.
got a real good finger lock right now, supporting all my weight.
They use two lines. As of this moment, the yellow line has not been clipped in.
Let me know what color rope you want slack.
Ron searches for a toehold and finds a section of rock that is separated from the roof. Using the crack as a step, he pushes up. And then, hardly a minute into the climb, camera rolling, the rock breaks off. In an instant, Ron finds a new hold. Rick draws slack and secures the belay. Ron holds on, not quite sure what happened. What he didn't realize was that the rock fell directly onto the rope. Ironically, it was the safety line that pulled him down. At the time, he perceived it only as an interruption before continuing on.
You okay?
Yeah, just a little loophole.
God, scared me to death. Okay, I'm clipped in. I'm gonna move up.
With cameraman Bob Carmichael an arm's length away, Ron starts up the head wall.
When you do get over the head wall on the rostrum, you're dealing with a crack that's really thin, and only the tips of your fingers will be able to go in. And the crack is so thin that you can't really maneuver your feet in it very well, so you'll be searching anywhere for little face edges alongside the crack.
Ridgeway is out of view. He listens for instructions telling him when to hold and when to allow slack.
Basically, you're just pulling yourself up on your fingertips most all the way and trying to find out any rest that you can.
Slack on the gold.
20 minutes after rounding the head wall, Ron has gained only 5 yards. He will continue without rest for another 2 hours.
Good slack, Rick. Slack on the red. Moving up.
That's a real neat thing about climbing, is that you can just find out what your limits are, you know, how far you can push yourself.